Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Explore It, Valley of the Dead King on Tabletop Simulator. We are all set up. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're all set up for the start of the... Alright, hold on. Just do this. Thank you. We're all set up for the start of a game. We've got Jean the Brute, the Fawn Brute, Jean the Fawn Brute, and Bork the Orc Priest. Brilliant, I know. We've got all their shit set up. We've spent all their starting gold. They're ready to get out there and explore, or hexplore, you might say. But in hindsight, I think it's foolish of us to not have, well, probably more potions, but more importantly, I think having a couple luck stones is prudent. So I'm gonna revert one gear upgrade. I'm gonna revert the Explorer. That'll go back to a 2. So that gives me 3 gold. I'm gonna spend 2 of that on a luck stone. So stupid. Luck stone. And 1 on a potion. Because it's smart. Shit's smart. Then... yeah, probably do the same for Bork. Let's do the exact same. The reason I'm picking Explore as the one to undo is because the Explore roll, skill roll, basically just has a chance to give you 2 gold. There we go. Luck stone. That apparently added something to my clipboard for some reason. And then we'll add times 2. Okay, done. Okay, let us begin the first turn of the game. And that first phase of the first turn is going to be movement. We can move almost anywhere. We can't move into open water because we don't have the folding boats. We didn't spend the 3 gold per hero to get it. That would let us move out into the open water, but there isn't much out there for us, so it's not a big deal. We also sadly cannot move into mountains. And let me bring up the... hold on. Let me bring up the... There it is. So any mountain whose peak extends above the hex, these locations are uncrossable. Which means that... I don't think... I don't think... So where it extends, I don't think is the mountain. I don't think that's where you... So I think I could go here. I just couldn't go here. Or here. Or here. I think I can go here. I think these are Arctic tiles. This is tundra. These are mountains. So let me go back to that so we just have the nice reference of what they all are. Other than that, we can cross into pretty much anything. Tundra we can cross into. Highlands we can cross into. It's just water and mountain peak is really the special ones. So, that's fine. So we can't go into those 3. We can't go into these 7. We can go anywhere else, though. Our standard movement range per turn is 4 hexes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our standard movement range. So we could do that, and that would be a standard turn with standard effects involved. You could also choose to not move at all on your turn. That's called camping. You would then heal 1 health and 1 energy, I believe. Gameplay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So camping, you don't move. You heal 3 health and energy. 3 extra health and energy. Your navigate succeeds automatically. You also have a -1 bonus to all skills rolled this turn. And this is cumulative if you camp for more than 1 game turn. So if you camp for like 6 turns in a row, you pretty much have the area mapped out. And you can also discard the circumstance you roll that turn. Circumstance is the encounter or bad shit that could happen to you. Cautious, if you move cautiously, you only get to move 1 hex or your normal speed on a river or road. In that case, you also navigate automatically, and you can also discard the circumstance for that turn, if allowed. So, yeah, this road, if I just follow this road, I can move 1, 2, 3, 4, and since I never left the road, I would be moving cautiously that turn. So that's good. Also, rivers work the same way if you just follow along with the river. Or if you're not on a river or road, you can move cautiously just by moving 1 hex. If not, you can move 4, or you can move 2 additional spaces than normal, so 6 right now. You'd suffer 2 energy. You'd suffer 2 energy drain, which means you'd lose 2 energy, and if your energy goes below 0, you suffer health instead. You roll for your navigate, but then you either pick explore or survival, and the other skill automatically fails. And you can't move recklessly along a road or river. Okay. And so what that all means as far as like navigate and survival and things like that, after you do your movement, you have to roll each of your skills. Every person in the group has to roll each of the skills. First is navigate. So half of the group has to succeed on the navigate roll, or they wander. The group wanders. So success on a dice roll like that for a skill roll, it's a D10, and you need to roll equal or under your skill value. So for Bork, he has a 3 navigate. I rolled a 3. That would have been a success. So then, as long for me, for 2-player, as long as one of my characters succeeds on the navigate roll, we avoid wandering. If they both fail, then we wander. So after you do your movement, wherever you end up, you then roll the hit 6-sided die, and that corresponds to this little directional thing. So for a 3, I would wander 1 to the south. Okay, so it's annoying because say you end on a quest, you end your movement on a quest, you're planning that, but then you have to wander, and you wander, say, 6, you'd wander here, and you wouldn't be able to do the quest that turn. So that's why navigation is important, and cautious moving and things like that. It lets you avoid that nonsense. But it'll happen. But if anyone rolls a 1, it doesn't matter what anyone else rolls. You automatically avoid wandering because that's a critical success. Then exploration. Like I said, if you succeed, anyone that succeeds on the exploration roll, they get 2 gold. And if anyone rolls a critical success on exploration, the whole group heals 1 damage. So the exploration is like the least crucial one. It's nice because it gives you money, but it's not like holy shit. Survival, like I said, if you fail this roll, you have to consume food equal to your food rating. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's not just 1 food. If Bork fails, he has to eat 3 food every time he fails. Jean will have to consume 2 food every time. So that's why characters with 0 food rating, they don't have to eat anything. They can still carry 5 food, I believe. You know, they can just hold it for other characters, but they don't need to actually eat, so that's kind of nice. And if you crit on the survival, each hero in the group heals 1 energy, or you end an affliction card affecting the group. And if all 3 of your skills, or 2 depending, are crits, you draw a power-up card and each hero in the group gets the bonus. We'll get to those eventually. Okay, so let's decide then at this point where we want to go. We want to complete a quest. Quests are important. There's a quest right here along the road. Let's look at that. It's in the Highlands. So that's this one. Yep. The bandit prince's men have established a roadblock and demand a tithe from all travelers. The elves have asked you to venture there and disband the ruffians. So in order to succeed on this quest, we have to end our movement there. We have to be on the tile. And then during the event phase, phase 4, we can attempt to complete the quest. In this case, it's a skill quest. We need to roll 1 success on survival. So during the 4th phase, if we're there, each character would roll their survival check. So they'd roll a d10, check it against their survival rating, and we only need 1 success. If we get that, we complete the quest. After we complete the quest, it's completed, but you have to go hand it in at a city. So we would flip it over, and then once we get to a city, we would hand in all our completed quest, and we'd get the rewards. In this case, the reward would be 1 power-up card. If any character rolls a crit on their survival check, so they roll a 1, they'd get a permanent +1 increase to their 2nd mastery stat. So that's kind of nice too. Additionally, you can go a step further. Part of almost every quest, I believe, is the challenge. If you want to go a step further, after completing the quest, you can attempt to do the challenge. Challenge for this one is to camp here for this turn, for the next turn, so you would just stay there for the next turn. That would lure the bandit prince boss from his hideout, and you can battle him. He doesn't get his passive ability for the fight, and if you beat him, you get double the rewards from the boss battle. I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to do that. We'll see. But I think we are definitely going to head there. That's overall an easy quest to get for an easy power-up. So since it's right along the road, we don't have to move 1 step to move cautiously. We can move 4 to get here. And that means since we moved cautiously, we don't have to roll our navigate in order to check if we wander, because there's no, we can avoid wandering entirely, which is nice. We do, however, have to roll the other 2. So for Jean, he's going to roll that, and Bork is going to roll that. as much of a roll. All right, so Gene rolled a 1 for exploration. That is a success. So he actually gets his 2 gold. It's a critical success. So that means that he could heal what's the crit? What's the crit effect in that? Yeah, heal a damage, but that doesn't help us. So that's all good. His survival was a 3, which is also a success. It's lower than his 4. So that means that he does not have to consume food. He successfully foraged for himself. And remember, if he were to fail, he could spend 2 energy as a fawn to treat his survival roll as a crit. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, especially if you have like an affliction on you. That would be a great way to just get rid of it easily. As for Bork the Orc, exploration rolled a 3, so that's a failure. Survival rolled an 8, so that's also a failure. That means I need to consume 3 food, bringing 8 down to 5. Characters can share food freely with one another. They can share food, gold, items with one another. So, you know, characters that are better at surviving and foraging, they can hold some food for other characters. It's a cooperative game. All right, that's phase 2. It's all done. It's all done. We're moving on to circumstance. Now, we moved cautiously, which means that we can discard the circumstance if able. You still have to roll, though, because some of these, none of these shown here, but some of these have the unavoidable tag on it. And that means if you roll it and you get it, no matter what, you have to take it. Otherwise, whatever we roll, we can say, nah, forget that, we won't take it. We got 4, which is the Will-O-Wisps. The Will-O-Wisps are a level 4 or challenge rating 4 out of 10 enemy. Actually, yeah, bosses go from 1 through 10. Enemy encounters go 1 through 6. So this is an above average difficulty encounter. I think we're going to pass on this, but let's just look at it. The Will-O-Wisps have 14 health, 16 energy, and every round of combat, they would roll a 1d6 to determine what they do. So if they roll a 1 or a 2, this would do group health damage. So everyone in the group would take 3 damage. And it would also block 15 of the party's damage that turn. So they would need to do more than 15 damage. My guys would need to do more than 15 damage to break through that and do any amount. And if the wisps suffer damage that turn, they become untargetable next round. Okay, so that's pretty rough. That's just a hit to us, and they block everything I dish out. And you don't know what the result of their dice roll is going to be until you've declared your actions for the round. 3 through 4, they would spend 4 of their energy, if available. They would target one of my 2 characters and do 6 energy damage. So I would lose 6 energy. The hero also becomes brainwashed, which if we go to the condition thing, brainwash says targets can't act normally. They treat their opponent as their only ally and the group as opponents. If the target is attacking, roll target dice to see which group member they target. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. If, for whatever reason, the enemy cannot pay 4 energy to do that ability, they instead would do the bottom part, where they would just do their normal attack, which is 3, but they would do half damage. So they would actually only do 1 damage. Also, all other effects as part of their base attack is also halved. So this would do 1 damage to the group, and it would block 7 damage. Okay, and then if they rolled a 5 or 6, they would do 6 damage to one target's health. If the target suffers no damage from that, a second target instead suffers 8 damage. So, yeah, overall, tricky customer. If we were to beat the Will-O-Wisps, you would get 7 gold. So each person would get 7 gold and 0 food. You can see that some things give food as part of the reward. So we're definitely going to be discarding that circumstance. We don't want anything to do with that. And we're going to draw to replace it. So another affliction card there. That means there's not a lot of enemy encounters. We might want to use a luck stone just to flush out these afflictions. Because when you draw an affliction, not only do you get the bad shit from that, you also draw another card to add on top of it, which could be another affliction, or you could get thrown into the will-o-wisps right away. So we probably want to flush that out. But okay, we got past the circumstance phase, so now the event phase. We are not on a city, shrine, boss, ruin, or quest, so we skip that. And then we come to the Dead King phase. If he's not on the board, which he isn't, we roll a d6, and if we get a 6, he comes on the board. We didn't. But now, the second turn of the game, you roll that again, and if it's a 5 or a 6, he comes onto the board. Then a 4 through 6, until eventually he will get on the board one way or another, and then he will start destroying cities. And the more cities he destroys, the faster he gets, and the less options we have for going back to handing quests and buy new shit. But okay, that is our first turn of Hexplore It, which is a lot simpler than Magic Realm. Okay, starting out, let's use a luck stone. Let's use Jean's luck stone to get rid of some of these circumstances. Because we're going to end on the quest space. I guess we're going to... Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much. But we do want to fight some weak enemies. We want to try to get some weak enemies out there. So let's dump these. And we're going to get 3 more out there. Shambling zombies, that could work. So we got Shambling Zombies, 10 health. It's a level 2 fight. We can handle that. We got a Thieves event here. Each hero loses all gold. Then you roll all your skills. If anyone succeeds on all 3 rolls, you locate the bandits. And then you can turn this card into a city to get 6 more gold. That's not bad. And then this one's a treasure. Aramis Ring. Turn it in to Restwind Dale for a bounty of 4 gold per hero, or you may keep the magical ring. If you keep it, you can use it once before a single combat round, roll the 6-sided die, add the result to the rank of each hero's action. And then it's a one-time use. That's really good, though. You get to add 6d6 to the result of everyone's rank, or to the rank of everyone's action for that turn. So that means if I rolled a 6 and I was planning on smiting someone, this would become a 9 for the purpose of that turn. That's crazy. But it's a one-time use, so you definitely would use that on a big boss. Okay, but that's a better lineup. I like that. For our movement, we're going to move 1 step. We're on a road still, so we could move more, but we're ending there. We're moving cautiously again, so we only need to roll yellow and blue. Blah, blah, blah. Yellow and blue. Alright, Jean, he got a 9 on his Explore. That's a big fail. He got a 10 on his Survival, so that's an even bigger fail. He'll just consume the 2 food. That's not the end of the world. Bork got a 4 on Explore, so that's a fail, and a 6 on Survival, so it is also a fail. So that's another 3 food for Bork. That means that I'm gonna need to borrow some food from Jean. Otherwise, I might start starving. But that's a problem for tomorrow. Okay. Those are our skill rolls, so now we'll roll for Circumstance. No matter what, unless we get a 6, we can discard it. We got 4 Shambling Zombies. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's do this encounter. Alright. So moving on to combat. Pretty simple. Each combat round takes place over 3 phases. There's the declaration phase, in which each character will decide and declare what action they are planning to take that round. And they will also spend any energy if required for those actions. Then is the opponent phase, in which you roll to decide what the opponent's action for that turn is. And then finally is the resolution phase, where you tally up all the numbers from all actions and dish out the results. So it's all simultaneous at the end. This means that players don't know what action the enemy's going to do beforehand, and also they can make some decisions about exactly what to do with their action during the resolution phase. So, for example, the priest can say during the declaration phase, oh, I'm going to use channeling this turn. Because that's what you're doing. You're picking one of these 4 things. So you just say, I'm using channeling this turn, and I spend 1 energy. You don't have to declare what you're using channeling for, because channeling can either heal or do damage. You don't have to declare that. You just have to declare that you're using channeling. Then, after you see what the enemy does, then you can decide, oh, I need to heal, or no, I can actually do damage now during the resolution phase. Also, Orc, once per combat for 3 health, I may boost my attack rank by half my attack rank for 1 round. Okay, that would not be worth it for Bork at the moment. But, yeah. Okay, so Shambling Zombies, they've got 10 health, 8 energy. They're undead, which is neither a favorite opponent for either of us. 1 through 3 on the die, they'll do 4 damage to dual targets, so that's going to be both of us. Both of us will take 4. And it will also reduce each target's damage dealt by 3 next round. 4 through 5, they'll spend 2 energy to do 5 damage to 1 target, and that target can't use energy next round. And then if they roll a 6, they'll do 3 damage to everyone in the group, and anyone who takes damage from that may not use energy next round. So in all, you know, these are kind of tough customers. We're going to want to kill them pretty quickly. They have no defense stats. They have nothing that can... Some things can roll defense or things like that that lets them take less damage, or like the Will-O-Wisps with block. This thing doesn't have any of that. So really we're just looking to do 10 damage and hope for the best. Jean can pretty much do that, or fairly close. Well, not quite, but I can use aggressive stance, which will do damage equal to brutal assault plus aggressive stance, so that's 3 plus 3 is 6. The rest of that doesn't even matter, but I treat each opponent as a favorite opponent, which means I get to add 1d6 damage to it. So we stand decent odds of just slaying it from that. So we're going to declare aggressive stance. I have to spend an energy in order to use that, so that gets spent right now. And we're declaring aggressive stance. As for Bork, I think we could probably go with channeling, just for the sake of, if one of us takes damage, we can just insta-heal it and be done. Or if Bork doesn't quite kill it, we can then use channeling to kill it. So let's use channeling. That costs 1 energy as well. And I can also, if both of us take damage, I can then split it and heal both of us. So we're using channeling over here. So our declarations are all done. I didn't mention, but if you do the attack action, obviously that just does your base attack damage. If you use the defend action, that reduces that amount of damage done to you. And you can also use an item during the resolution phase if you defend. So if I wanted to use a potion this turn, I could defend, block some damage, and then during resolution use the potion. Also, it's kind of like Earthbound, where you can actually take fatal damage, but then also be healed at the same time and avoid death. Because it all happens during the resolution phase. So, say Bork, for whatever reason, took 12 damage, but I also had declared channeling to heal him for 8 damage. He would end the resolution phase with 8 health. Because you can basically just determine the order of operations there. But okay, that's our declaration phase. So now we're going to roll a d6 for the shambling zombies, decide what they do for their turn. They rolled a 3, so they're going to be doing 4 damage to both of us, and we reduce each of them their damage dealt by 3 for next round. Oh, also, we would have needed to roll my d6 for the favored opponent. Okay, he rolled a 6, so this thing's definitely dead, because a 6 actually explodes. So you roll it again, and add it again, so 11 damage. So then you go over here, this is your battle mat for tracking everything. Piercing and favorite opponent damage is going to be... Whoops, let me lock that. Would be 11. And then during the resolution phase, in addition to his 11, he's doing 6 damage. So we'd say 6 there. Yep. Now is when we would decide what we're doing channeling. We'd also mark that we're both losing 4 health. So I could use channeling to have the total amount healed and instead heal multiple targets. So I would normally heal channeling rank plus shield of faith rank health, which would be 5 plus 3, so 8. I can have that in 2. That's what having does. Obviously. Each target healed costs 1 more energy. So then we would tick this down to 6, because I'm healing 2 people. We'd both heal for 4, so I nullify their damage. And Jean then does 17 damage to the zombies, and they are dead. They're dead. They're all dead. That's it. That's combat. Pretty simple. So then, as a reward, we each get 5 gold. So we go here, 5. That's a 6. That's a 5. And you go up to 7. And then you move on with your lives. That was our circumstance phase. Oh, we're gonna refresh. Stranglevines. That's a pretty easy encounter. It's only worth 2 gold, but it's pretty easy. Now, I should mention, at any point during the game, you can increase the difficulty of the game. You can't decrease it ever. You can continue to increase it if you want. And so this is the best way to balance if you have a lot of players involved, a lot of characters. You just start on a much higher difficulty. And the difficulty is outlined here at the bottom. So right now we're playing on starter. It doesn't change anything, and it doesn't offer any possibilities of new additional rewards. If we bumped it up to easy difficulty, every enemy in the game would get plus 5 health per hero. And they would do plus 1 damage. Meaning that these zombies would then have 20 health. And they would have done 5 damage to each of us. That's still pretty manageable, I think. I probably should have done it that way, but, you know, that was the first encounter. So that's easy difficulty. +5. Oh, the +5 vitals. So they would have had 20 health and 18 energy, because those are both vitals. And then +1 damage. Okay, so if you're playing on easy difficulty, that affects every opponent, but after every enemy you defeat, as an additional reward, you roll a d10. And if you roll 2 or less, you get an extra power-up card. You get an extra one of these. So, not a big chance, but it's easy difficulty, you know? So it is what it is. Moderate, they'd get instead +10 vitals per hero. So those zombies would have 30 health. And they'd gain +2 damage. So they would have done 6 damage to each of my guys. But then the d10 is 4 or less. So, you know, twice as likely to gain an extra power-up. Because at that, you know, on those odds, you're looking at, you know, a good amount of power-ups. Difficult, that's where it actually starts to get pretty difficult. Oh, also bosses gain passives, but we'll get to that. Difficult adds +25 vitals per hero, so those zombies would have had 60 health, +3 damage dealt, but you power up on 6 or less. Heroic +50 vitals per hero. That, I mean, that's crazy, because those little weak zombies would have had 110 health. That's grueling. +4 damage dealt, powering up on an 8 or less. And then epic, +100 health per hero, +6 damage, and everything targets one additional person. So all their single target shit would kit both of me. But no matter what, when you complete one of those encounters, you get an extra power-up card. I don't think you'd ever really start on that kind of difficulty. I think at most you'd start on like moderate. But as you get more and more powerful, as you continue to move across and you get all these power-up cards, yeah, you might move up just to really seal the deal and get a lot of power-up cards before the end of the final boss. Because at the end of the rulebook, there's like optional rules called Valor. And this gives you Valor score, like Valor objectives, achievements, like defeating the Dead King on epic difficulty. And then you can, you know, it adds a little bit more of like progression from game to game. If you've done enough achievements, you start with the fortification plans and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, we were playing on starter difficulty, so that's it. That's the end of the circumstance, and now we move on to the event phase. We are on a quest, so now we can try and complete this survival quest. We're both gonna roll a blue. I think I can auto succeed on this for 2 energy and get the crit success benefit, I think. We'll do the roll here just to see. Bork failed and Jean succeeded. I don't know. I don't know if he can. You know, it's again, it's kind of a game like Magic Realm where there's just not a lot of discussion and answers. Again, it's not like Gloomhaven. I think I could. I don't see why I couldn't. Once per game turn for 2 energy, you may treat your survival roll result as a critical success. I did a survival roll. I can treat it as a critical success. I mean, if I was sitting at a table and someone else asked, I would say, yeah, I think so. So let's spend 2 energy. And we'll count it as a crit, which means that I gain +1 to my second mastery. I mean, it's not like broken or anything. I mean, you get a lot of upgrades across the whole game. And it's only a one-time thing for 2 energy. So there you have it. I completed this quest. It's flipped over, technically. So at this point, we can now return to a city. There's one that we could get to next turn. We would hand it in, and we'd each get a power-up card. So now the question remains of whether I push my luck at this point in time and do battle with the Bandit Prince. And let's look at the Bandit Prince now that we understand how combat works. He would have 25 health, 16 energy, which isn't too bad. I mean, you saw how much damage we could do. Especially with that energy involved, making him a favorite opponent every round. It's pretty good damage. We probably could win. His base ability, Multi-Slash, does 2 damage to the group. His defends for 2, and anyone who damages him while he's defending suffers 2 damage. He can take a magic potion to heal for 5 health. And then he gets to roll again. If he gets a 2-5 or the Hex, which is a 6, he does that. Garrote does 4 damage to 2 targets, and if they fail a survival check, they're bleeding, which you lose 1 health during the declaration phase each round until you're healed. Greedy Hand, everyone has to do an explore check. Those who fail lose 2 gold, and if you don't have gold to lose, you lose 4 health instead. And then Ransack, everyone has to roll survival. Those who fail lose 4 food. And if you don't have the food to lose, you take 6 energy damage instead. Now, if we were playing on moderate difficulty or higher, normally he would have mugging as a passive skill. So at the declaration of every round, one person would have to explore. If it failed, they steal the least expensive item from that hero's inventory. If it's an item that heals, they use it on the Bandit Prince. Interesting. But now, if we fight him now, he wouldn't get his passive ability, but he doesn't get that either way. And if we win, we get twice the single and group rewards. Meaning that we'd get... essentially, each of us would get +2 navigate and 2 potions. Whereas normally only one person would get +2 navigate, one person would get 2 potions. And then the group reward, each person would get 4 power-ups, 10 gold, and 4 food. I mean, it's so good that I think we have to go for it, even if it's just like, even if it's just we lose. I think we have to go for it. But that's next round. We're still in the event phase, so, well, that's done now. Because the challenge, we have to camp here next turn. So, we're rolling for the Dead King. He comes out on a 5 or 6. He's out. So now we're going to roll for his starting city. He's starting in the 5th city, which is fortunately not the one we were going to go to. It's here. So that city becomes a fallen city now. We can free it. Like I said, we can go there and do the fallen city encounter. But that's a tough encounter, you know. 26 health. They do plenty of damage. They can curse us, disease us. You also have to have a talisman. So you have to get a talisman from a shrine in order to even attempt it. And you have to use the talisman every round of combat, which means someone has to defend and use the item each turn. Not simple. Not simple. Okay, so he just showed up. So now next turn, he's going to roll again on here to determine which city he moves towards. And then the following turn, he'll begin moving there at a rate of 1 hex plus 1 for each fallen city. So to start, he's going to be moving 2 hexes per turn. Once he gets there, that city also falls. We can't stop him. We got to get strong. Okay, that's the end of the round. So new round, we are going to camp as our movement. So we're not moving. We heal 3 extra health and energy, which is good. We're going to top up now. Back to 8. Back to 8. See, problem solved. Navigate automatically succeeds, so we don't wander. We still have to roll for exploration and survival, but we gain a -1 for the roll. And we can choose to discard our circumstance. Okay. Well, definitely did not succeed on exploration. He crit on survival. But I don't think it mattered. We don't have an affliction. We're not missing any energy, so that doesn't matter. Bork failed on both, of course. So to avoid starving, we're going to have Jean hand over a couple food. So that'll go to 4. This will go to 4, and then he consumes 3 of it. So, yeah, he's not in great shape, but we're almost done. We're almost done out here in the wilderness. And we're going to have plenty of money to spend to buy food. Now we roll for circumstance. We got a 4. The strange vines. Yeah, I guess we can fight the strangle vines. Not the biggest threat we've ever conceived of. We only have to do 4 damage to it. So, I'm trying to decide the best way to do 4 damage. Probably gonna be just Jean using aggressive stance. Brutal assault won't quite get the job done. So we'll use 1 energy for aggressive stance. Then I think Bork is just going to shield. He's going to defend. Just because he's got low health, he might as well. He's not contributing in any other way. Yeah. So that's our declaration. We're gonna roll. He rolled a 3, so he's doing single target health of 2 damage. So now we both roll, and whoever rolls higher is the target of the attack. So Bork got a 6, and Jean got a 6, so we re-roll. 3 and a 3. Oh my god. There you go. 6 and an 8. Okay, it's Jean. It is what it is. So he takes 2 damage. Bringing him down to 10. But then he does 6 plus however many damage to the Stranglevines. So definitely killed. And we both add 2 more gold. Ooh, a wyvern. Yeah. So this becomes a 9. Becomes a 7. So it threw me off a little bit at first that there wasn't all these like equipment cards, you know, because I'm so used to that. Like, oh, here's a sword, here's your shield, here's your armor, here's a magic ring, you know, all that sort of stuff. And there is some stuff like that, like this ring right here. But most of it just comes in the form of of just spending gold to increase these numbers. So in a way, it sort of just simplifies it. It gets rid of all that, the cards and things like that, that most likely would just make you better at attacking and defending and things like that, or increase your health. And it just says, okay, you're spending gold on gear upgrades. That's what it calls it. You're spending 2 gold to increase your health by 1 through gear. And it doesn't matter what that gear is or anything like that. It doesn't have any other special benefits. It just increases your health by 1. So they simplify. So gold is everything. It's just, it abstracts it a little bit as far as equipment. Okay, that's that. So now we finished our circumstance. We go to the event phase. And because we fulfilled the challenge requirements, we are luring the bandit prince out. And we are doing this fight. Ugh. Alrighty. Gonna be a little trickier. We're definitely gonna be using up some energy here. So I think Jean is just gonna be aggressive stance like every round. Because as we saw, he could put out some serious damage. Oh yeah, okay, right. Especially, yeah, if it explodes, it's crazy. So he's gonna do a aggressive stance. Bork is gonna channel. Ideally, it's to do a lot of damage. It would do 5 damage, which isn't a lot, but it's something. But if we need to heal, we can heal. It costs 1 energy either way, so spend the energy to channel. Then we're gonna roll for this. He is ransacking. Great. I don't have a whole lot of food to spend. And losing 6 energy would be rough. But neither one of my characters. Oh, actually, Jean could lose 4 food, which is a bummer because he's the one that can auto crit on the survival if he wants. All right, so here's Bork's. Oh, god damn it. Oh, it's a crit. All right, I crit. This was at a 7, I think. This is a problem with using D10. Don't roll next to your... Ugh. Let's see, I would have had... I upgraded twice, so I'd have 8. I spent 1, so it should be at 7. Yeah, that should be at... Oh no, this should be at 8. This should be at 7. This should be also at 7. Correct. There we go. Don't do that. Okay. So that's fine. He's perfectly safe from ransacking. And Jean can either succeed or fail. I could lose the 4 food. Or I can spend 2 to crit. You can only do that once. It's once per game turn. And the game turn is the whole 5-step process. It doesn't actually say I can use in combat, so I'm not sure about this application. I think to play it safe, we'll just lose the 4 food. Just to play it safe. Okay. So neither one of us take the energy damage, which is fine. And now we go to the well, actually, I guess that was the resolution phase. We did all his effects. So now we do ours. Oh, I forgot to roll for my favorite opponent. It's a 4. So I'm doing 3 plus 4 is a total of 10 damage on that side. Channeling, we're doing 5, so that's 15 damage straight out the gate. Done. Only 10 health left. That's pretty good. So let's see here. 25 minus 15. Okay. Then next round, I think we'll do the exact same thing. We'll announce our aggressive stance. We'll do the channeling. We'll roll his shit. He got a 1, so he's doing multi-slash. Yeah, I can handle that. Let me roll my favorite opponent thing. I actually don't even need it. Yeah. Okay. Then I guess... doesn't really matter, but... I'll spend the extra energy to heal both of us, so we ignore his damage, because I don't need the channeling damage. I do 6 plus 4 is 10 damage. And he's dead. He is very dead. Now, that fight could have gone a lot worse, and we are playing on starter difficulty. So that's definitely something of note. Especially because, like, if you go in here with 7 characters on starter difficulty, I mean, you'll shred him absolutely in a round. His health does not, on starter difficulty, his health does not change at all, depending on number of characters. So, like I said, I should be playing probably on easy, but it's such a minor benefit on easy. I mean, let's pretend I did and I rolled this. There, I wouldn't have gotten shit. And it would have just been, he would have had an extra 10 health, and he would have done more damage. So, moderate, I think, is where you want to get to, but, yeah, if I was playing with more people, absolutely, I'd start on moderate, and we would just go with it. But as it is, we crushed his ass. So both characters get +2 navigate and 2 more potions. So this is a permanent navigation bump up to 5. And potions, I could actually have one character take, I could have one character take it all. You have one character get +4 navigate and 4 potions. But we'll spread the love. So that goes to 4. This becomes a 5 as well. And we add ×3. Okay, so that was the singular rewards. Group rewards are also doubled. It's insane. So we each get 10 gold, 4 food, and 4 power-up cards. Wait till you get a load of this shit. So we each get 4 food. That's great. And 10 gold. Okay. 4 food, 10 gold. Okay, power-up cards. So here's Bork's power-ups. And here's Jean's power-ups. Alright. Oh my god, his fucking energy. So, yep, his health and energy permanently go up by 1. And then his energy permanently goes up another 2. So health is going to 13. Increases current and maximum, so his current health goes up to 11. I Actually, he just got healed for... Yeah, he should be at full. Okay. Then his energy goes up by 3 to 11. And current goes up by 3 to 8. Good lord. I mean, I say good lord. These are obviously rookie numbers in the grand scheme of fighting the dead king, but it's like, yeah, you can see how good it gets. No, actually, we each get 4 power-ups. They each get tough. Oh my god. Right, so let's add a couple more cards in there. Okay. So his survival goes up by 1 to 5. And his attack goes up by 1 to 4. That's excellent. Now that's good. That I like to see. There you go. Everyone gets 4. I mean, good. Oh, it's so good. Bork gets another 2 cards. Hold on. Let's line them up. He gets +2 navigate again, so now he's at a 7. That's... I'll almost never wander now. That's awesome. His defense goes up by 2 to 5. His survival goes up by 2. Great, that's excellent. And both of his masteries go up by 1. Oh, yes. Channeling at 6. Replenish at 4. I'll still probably never use replenish, but channeling, yeah. So now his heals for 11. So you can almost full heal Jean. Or it heals both of them for 5, which is also pretty good. I wouldn't have minded some health upgrades, but that's probably what the gold is going to be spent on. Okay, now let me just double check the power-up concept here. Right, so normally, yeah, you just get dealt the power-ups and you take them. But there's an optional rule that allows you to trade power-ups between the group. So I could have said, oh, Bork, you need this +2 energy way more than I do. Give me that. Give me the +2 defense. Or, you know, things like that. They don't recommend it for a normal game, though, so it's fine. I think it's fine. Yeah, then I think you just sort of hold on to it. The power-ups. They don't go, like, back into the deck. So there is a limited number of power-up cards. Because, God, like, if I had gone in with 6 characters... and we had all gotten 4, that would have been 24 of the cards. But, I mean, if you deplete the power-up deck, you're probably pretty ready to fight the Dead King, I would assume. But alright, we definitely succeeded on this. This guy is very dead, so that's all good. The Dead King phase, so we roll this. He is going to be going after... this one, the middle city, so we put that there. I guess that's what he's going after. He doesn't move this turn, I believe. And then we start a new turn. We're gonna be moving 2 along the road to get to here. We moved cautiously, so we don't have to navigate. Even though we're in a city, we still have to roll survival, I guess. You skip circumstance while in a city, but yeah, I think you do have to still roll the other shit. I guess it's like representing your road to get here. Alright, Jean succeeded on exploring and survival, so he's all good. He actually gets 2 more gold. Bork succeeded on survival, thank goodness. Failed on exploration. So that's good. We hand in our quests, so this gets handed in, meaning we each get another power-up card. Here and here. Jean gets another navigate. Yeah, we're definitely never wandering again, I think. Oh, Bork, +1 to 3 different stats. I assume... No, I don't think you could pile it all onto one stat. It specifically says distribute it between any 3 stats. It doesn't say up to 3 stats. So let's pick health as a free upgrade. I mean, health and energy aren't the greatest choices because they are the cheapest, whereas these 4 are the most expensive. Let's grab a free upgrade to smite. And let's grab a free upgrade to... survival. There you have it. Okay. Then... if the group pays 1 gold, not each, just any person pays 1 gold, which I guess I'll do. The whole group heals to full for health and energy. So yeah, it's just like a token expense, really. All right, and then we can spend our money as we see fit. Oh boy. I'm gonna ponder this. I'll ponder this and we'll pick up the video here next time. We're in pretty good shape though, I gotta say. We're doing all right on starter difficulty. Definitely not ready to go after the Dead King or anything like that. And let me replace this quest. We got another survival quest on Quadrant C with the river. With the river. Oh, right here. So this would get here. Another survival quest. Yeah, I mean, it's another easy quest. It's not a huge reward or anything like that. It's... you can say this is geared towards the sorcerer if he was in play. This one's geared towards the beastmaster. But what's this one? What is this one? That would be this. Again, similar thing. But we could make a move. We could grab this quest easy, and yeah, we could even grab this one easy. You finish those 3 quests, and then you finish your move. Well, yeah. Yeah. That's sort of the bummer now, is that this city's fallen. He's probably going to get to this city by the time we're done. So we'll probably have to head back here. But still, I mean, that's grabbing another 3 power-ups. And then we could maybe go after boss number 2. I don't know exactly how the boss numbers work. But, yeah, you know, we've got options at this point. We've got options at this point. But 3 quests in close proximity is pretty good. Alright. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Hexplore at Valley of the Dead King. See you fine folks in the next part.